Hi everyone, I'm back. This is thatJeffSmith. I talk about Oracle stuff. I wanted to cover today some updates we've made in our VS Code extension, SQL Developer. I have a video that covers an overview of the extension, but we've done some pretty significant updates. A lot of those are requests that came from you, the users, and so I wanted to show them off quickly. Let's start with connections. Now, if you don't have SQL Developer installed, you simply just go to the VS Code Marketplace and search for Oracle. We're the first one, and you'll see the SQL Developer logo here. Once the extension is active, you can start creating connections and start interacting with your databases. So if you have lots and lots of connections or lots and lots of databases you're working with, it can be overwhelming when you've got 30 or 40 files open, not sure, which editor belongs to which database or which connection. And that's a problem when you are running destructive commands like drop table or truncate table or delete from. So let's show what this looks like if you have a collar scheme attached. So I have a connection here named system, and you can see it's collared in red. If I open up a SQL worksheet, it's making the database connection now. I'm connected, and if I start typing, select star from all users. So the tab is colorized in red text. I have a red line down my code editor. And if I were to say to navigate the dictionary and open up a table, this object editor is also in red. If I open up a non-production type connection, like say this one, you can see it's colorized with green on the tree. It's got a green text here on the tab label. And I can say select star employees. If I drag this over so that they're side by side, there we go. I've got my red productions worksheet here. I've got my green safe happy place over there. If I wanted to change connections, my connection indicator is down here on the bottom. If I click this, I've got the list of all of my connections, and I can also see that the color schemes are repeated here. Now, to set these, it's simply a connection property. So I'm going to disconnect and disconnect. So if I click the pencil icon, there's this new color picker here. Lots of colors for you to choose. Um, the other thing you can do is you'll notice here there's a little gear switch or a little gear bitmap on top of the red database icon. That indicates that this is a DBA type connection. And the reason it's doing that is because we now also have this properties panel here for advanced settings. And this is where I can enable DBA features. So if I reconnect and expand the connection tree, you can see there's this new DBA node under the user or under the connection name. So there's three new nodes here: scheduler, security, performance. If we come into performance and I want to run an AWR report, and just simply pick two snapshots and say run. This will take a second. While this is running, you'll notice that the label is in red. And since this is a web editor that we've kind of opened up on this connection, we're also continuing the connection caller here across the top of the screen. And here's my report. So we've modernized the basically the CSS behind these HTML reports out of the database. So these should be much easier to navigate and to read than they used to look like in the old like OEM interface. And of course, I could also save these off. There's also under here security, so I can manage users and roles. Here's my user that I'm logged in as. It's going to tell me when my password expires. I can edit my account here, but I have all of the other accounts here. Here's the SH account. I can clone this user. This is a nice feature. So it'll basically take all of the existing privileges this account already has and use that to create a new one. So, this user has alter session. So I simply type in the new user account here, and it's going to have basically the same setup as the other user that I'm cloning. Of course, I can come in and make edits to these accounts. So if I wanted to make a change to the SH schema or the SH user, I can take away the admin option on that privilege. And if I come to the DDL page, you can see that it's revoked that. You can also manage roles. So I can see on the DBA role what's been granted to, I'm sorry, I didn't open DBA, I opened up DBFS, DBA. So here's what's been granted to, here's what's inside the DBA role. And here are the roles that have been granted to DBA. And here are the people that have been granted the DBA role. So if you're surprised, if you see, oh, HR shouldn't have that here, I should probably go back over to the HR user and make that update. Or I could probably do it from here. I don't think I can remove users from here. Okay. So something else you may have noticed, these connection trees, like if I expand the HR user that's not a DBA, you only see tables, views, packages, and other users here. So another frequent request was they wanted the ability to take things off the tree they don't use. Like I don't work with materialized views. I shouldn't have to see the materialized views item on the tree. So if you click this funnel filter button here, you can come on and turn things on and off in the trees that you don't use. So by default, everything's going to be on. If you're not a fan of duality views, turn that off and you're not going to see that on the tree anymore. So I've enabled DBA. I see that on the DBA type connections, and I've left on tables, views, packages, and other users. Of course, if I come down into other users and I expand to other users, I see those same tables, views, packages there. One last thing. When we are looking at performance and diagnostics data in the database, that might be touching licensable features. And so when you open those screens, we'll prompt you if it's okay to use that feature, but you can also just say in your connection definition itself, hey, I have diagnostics and tuning packs enabled. You don't need to prompt me for that. Or you can uncheck these, and when you go to open those screens, it'll say, hey, you said you don't want that stuff. Checking this DBA checkbox here does not grant my user the DBA role. It just turns on and off the DBA section of the tree. If I turn this on for a user that can't do anything in the DBA side of the house, like the screens will show up, but they're not going to work. So this is just simply, do I want to activate the DBA section of the connection tree or not? In SQL Developer Classic, we had a whole separate DBA connection panel that you'd have to add the connection to, and then the DBA stuff would be there. We just chose to consolidate that to the single tree, and so hopefully navigation should be easier. One last thing on connections. In Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, we have a developer service where you can create and maintain database connections for databases in your cloud tenancy. And so if you've created maybe an always free autonomous database, or maybe you've created a database using the base service on a virtual machine, or maybe you've even got Exadata cloud at customer, and you want to work with those databases, you can create connection resources in the cloud. That allows you to open up SQL worksheets in the console so you can run queries, and also allows you to publish MCP servers on those connections. So if on your machine where VS Code and the SQL Developer extension are installed, if you have your OCI profile set and we have access to your cloud tenancy, you can actually import those connections here. So let's see, I think I have one of these. Yeah, this one right here is one that I've added from my OCI account. So if we come up here, my connection type is OCI DB tools. And it's got the profile on my account, because I've got two different cloud accounts on my .profile, but I'm using one from DB tools. And this connection is defined in my Phoenix region, and here's the actual connection resource. And if I click the little eyeball here, it'll tell me the connection name and the connection string attached to this. So the beauty of this is you'll notice there's no place here for username and password. That's maintained in the cloud. So I can simply import this connection and use it from here. And I don't have to worry about the password being changed. As long as the password's been up to date in the vault, then it's attached. That secret for the password is attached to this connection in cloud. It's all good to go. If I were to create a new connection, and again, come down here to OCI DB tools, click the search. Now I can say, okay, I want to go to my DB tools, and then I want to go to Phoenix, and then compartment. So this is really, really fast. I got lots and lots of compartments. Our whole team uses this. So I could say MCP, DB tools, MCP. And then now here are just the connections in this region, in this compartment. This is why it's kind of a good idea to give your resources good names. But here's one that I created. Apply, and yeah, here's my connection name. And I can give this a color too. Hey, it's a cloud connection, so I'll make it that fuchsia if I want. And then again, if I want to see exactly what that connection is. Yeah. It's an ADB. Looks like an autonomous database. And for giggles, I don't know if the password's correct or if the network connectivity is here, but we can test it. Test passed. So save. Here it is over here. I'm connected. There are my tables. And if I mouse over that connection, you can look at the properties again. No username, no password. Cloud magic. All right. We do extension updates every 3 months. We've had quite a few updates since the last time I did that video. So if you come over here and just view the changelog, you can see where we've added stuff. Another big thing we've added is support for this new Apex Lang feature. This is a programming language that can be used to express your Oracle application, sorry, your Oracle Apex applications, which really makes it possible to use things like AI and LLMs to generate Apex apps from scratch. Some other big things, connection folders we've added. What else have we done? Lots and lots of stuff, So the goal for this extension is for it to completely replace SQL Developer on the desktop. This is the SQL Developer going forward. And if you've got feedback for features that you want to see come over, let me know. For the rest of the year, we're going to be concentrating mostly on DBA features, although we're also getting ready to start work on adding support for an IDE for your Oracle REST data services, REST APIs to be developed and maintained in the VS Code extension. All right, this video went longer than I wanted. Thanks for hanging out. And I hope to get another video out soon that talks about all of our MCP servers. Cheers.